Let's be honest for a moment. You know that split second, the moment his hand starts to drift downwards, when the conversation fades, the air gets a little warmer and his fingers begin their journey south. And in that split second, 100 thoughts can flash through your mind. Am I fresh enough? Did I shave perfectly? I hope I look okay down there. It's a silent panic that almost every woman on earth has felt. We've been taught to worry about that part of ourselves, to see it as something that needs to be perfect, pristine, and almost apologetic. But what if I told you that in that exact moment, while you're caught in a spiral of self-conscious worry, his brain is somewhere else entirely? He isn't judging. He isn't critiquing. He is entering what his primal mind considers the most sacred, intimate, and vulnerable part of you. For him, being allowed to touch you there is not a casual act. It's a privilege. It's a signal of trust so profound that it silences every other thought in his head. What he feels isn't just physical. It's a chemical, psychological, and emotional tidal wave. And it's one of the most addictive experiences a man can have. He doesn't just like it, he craves it. He is magnetically drawn to it for reasons he probably can't even explain himself. But I can. In this video, we are not going to talk about cheap tricks. We are going to pull back the curtain on the male mind and reveal the deep biological and emotional reasons why men truly love touching you down there. We're going to explore why your natural scent is intoxicating to him, why your vulnerability is his biggest turn on, and how his touch is a secret language he uses to say all the things he can't say with words. So get comfortable and let's decode him together. By the end of this journey, that moment of panic will be replaced with a feeling of profound, unshakable power. The hidden meaning behind his touch, the question women rarely ask, you know the feeling, the soft weight of his hand on your skin. The way his fingers can send a shiver through you without a single word being spoken. You've felt his touch in 100 different ways, a gentle caress on your arm, the firm press of his hand on the small of your back, the intimate exploration when the lights are low. We spend so much time experiencing the physical sensation of a man's touch, the warmth, the pressure, the pleasure, that we often forget to ask the most important question of all. It's a question that goes deeper than technique, deeper than desire, and it's a question women rarely think to. We ask, what does he want? We ask, does he find me attractive? We might even ask, is this leading somewhere? But have you ever, in a quiet moment, paused to ask, what is he trying to tell me? Because a man's touch is not just an action. It is a language. It is his most honest and primal form of communication, a silent conversation that begins long before his lips ever part to speak. As women, we are masters of words. We analyze tone, we decode subtext, we search for meaning between the lines of a text message. But we often overlook the dictionary he was born with, the one written on his skin. His hands are his heart's translators, and they often speak the truths he finds too difficult, too vulnerable, or too overwhelming to say out loud. Think of all the times you've wished he would just open up and tell you how he feels. The moments you've craved a deeper emotional connection, a sign that he sees you as more than just a physical being. The irony is that he has likely been telling you these things all along. He's just been using a different language. When he reaches for you in the middle of the night, half asleep, and pulls you closer, his touch isn't just saying, I'm here. It's saying, my subconscious seeks you out as its anchor, its safe harbor. When he gently traces the lines of your face while you're talking, he isn't just being affectionate. He's saying, I'm fascinated by you. I'm trying to memorize the details of the person who captivates me. We have been conditioned to see male touch primarily through the lens of desire and intent. We see it as a means to an end, but that is such a limited, one-dimensional view. It's like listening to a beautiful symphony and only hearing one note. The real music is in the nuance, the texture, the emotional story being told. This journey we're about to take is about learning to hear that music. It's about giving you the ability to translate his silent language. We're going to decode the hidden meaning behind his touch, from the most casual gesture to the most passionate embrace. By the end, you won't just feel his hands on your skin, you will feel his emotions, his intentions, and his heart speaking directly to yours. The physical act will transform into a profound emotional experience because you will finally understand the conversation that has been happening just beneath the surface all this time. So let's begin by learning the first phrases of this beautiful silent language. Touch is communication. If touch is a language, every different type of touch is a different word, a different phrase, loaded with its own unique meaning. Men who are often less practiced in verbalizing their deepest feelings, rely on this language to convey the cornerstones of their affection. When you learn to listen, you'll realize he's communicating three core emotions far more often than you think: protection, admiration, and presence. First, let's talk about protection. Have you ever noticed the way he places his hand on your back as you walk into a crowded room? Or how, during a movie, his arm isn't just around you, but feels like a solid, grounding weight? This isn't just a possessive gesture. This is his instinct to protect made manifest. In his mind, he is creating a subtle, invisible shield around you. His touch says, "You are with me. You are safe. I am your guardian in this space." It's a primal impulse that is deeply ingrained in the masculine psyche. He may not say, "I feel protective of you because you are precious to me," but his hand resting firmly on your body says it for him. It's a quiet promise of security, a physical declaration that he is your ally. Next, there is admiration. This is a softer, more exploratory touch. It's the way his fingers gently brush a strand of hair from your face, or how he slowly traces the curve of your hip. This touch is not rushed. It is not demanding. This is a touch of awe. It's as if he is a curator in a museum marveling at a priceless work of art. He has taken in your details, your textures, your form. He is using his sense of touch to see you in a way his eyes cannot. This gesture says, "You are beautiful to me," not just your face, but all of you. "I am in awe of your existence." When he touches you with this gentle, almost reverent quality, he is worshipping your femininity. He is admiring the reality of you, and it's one of the most sincere compliments he can possibly give. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, his touch communicates presence. In a world of constant distraction, where minds are always somewhere else, a focused touch is a powerful statement. When he puts his phone down, turns to you, and takes your hand, truly feeling its weight and warmth in his, he is saying, "I am here with you right now." This is the lingering touch, the one that doesn't rush toward a goal. It's the hand that rests on your leg while he's driving, or the hug that lasts a few seconds longer than necessary. This touch is a form of active meditation. It pulls him out of the chaos of his own mind and anchors him in the present moment with you. It's his way of shutting out the rest of the world and making you his entire focus. He's not just physically present, he is emotionally present, and his touch is the bridge that brings his whole being into the room with you. Protection, admiration, and presence. These are not small things. They are the pillars of deep emotional connection, and he is speaking them to you every single day, not with his voice, but with the profound and honest language of his hands. The emotional subtext of desire there is a common frustration many women feel, a quiet misunderstanding that can create a subtle distance in a relationship. It's the feeling that for him, everything seems to lead back to the physical. You might share an emotional moment, a deep conversation, and his response is to reach for you, to initiate intimacy. And in your mind, a voice might whisper, "Is that all he thinks about? Does he have to make everything about sex?" It can feel as though he is changing the subject, shifting from a moment of emotional connection to one of simple physical desire. But this is where we must reframe our entire understanding of the male emotional process. For many men, the physical is not a departure from the emotional. The physical is the emotional. They do not experience love, connection, and desire as separate channels. For them, it is all one powerful river flowing in the same direction. When a man feels a surge of love for you, when he feels a wave of profound connection after you've shared something vulnerable, his most natural, instinctive, and sincere response is to express that feeling physically. Words can feel clumsy to him, inadequate to contain the sheer volume of his emotion. He might not have the language to say, "That beautiful thing you just said made me fall in love with you all over again." But his body knows how to say it. His desire to touch you, to hold you, to merge with you, is the physical manifestation of that emotional surge. His desire for your body is a direct extension of his desire for your soul. He's not trying to end the emotional moment. He's trying to elevate it to its highest possible expression. Think of it this way: physicality is his most honest form of poetry. It's how he punctuates his deepest feelings. The touch is the exclamation point at the end of the sentence, "I love you." The desire is the crescendo of the music that is playing in his heart. When you reframe it like this, you begin to see that his physical advances are not a dismissal of your emotional connection, but a testament to its power. The more emotionally connected he feels to you, the more his body will naturally crave to express that connection. So when he reaches for you after a deep talk, he is not cheapening the moment. He is honoring it. He is saying, I feel so close to you right now. Words are not enough. Let me show you. He is saying, I see you. I hear you. And my entire being wants to be closer to you. His touch is his way of trying to dissolve the final inches of separation between you to create a moment of perfect, seamless unity. It is the emotional subtext of his desire. He doesn't just want your body. He wants to feel the closeness that to him only that physical union can truly provide. He is reaching for you, all of you, in the most honest way he knows how, understanding the male mind, the biology behind his urge to move beyond the poetry of touch and into the mechanics of the male mind. We have to look at the powerful, invisible forces at play just beneath his skin. His nudge to touch you is not just a fleeting thought or a simple decision. It is a complex biological event, a chemical cascade that profoundly affects his brain and body. Understanding this science doesn't remove the magic, it deepens it, revealing the beautiful and intricate design behind his desire. The story begins with our largest organ, the skin. It is a vast network of nerve endings, constantly sending information back to the brain. When his skin makes contact with yours, it's not just a physical feeling, it's a biological conversation. This contact triggers the release of a powerful hormone called oxytocin. Often nicknamed the cuddle hormone or the bonding hormone, oxytocin is the chemical foundation of trust, empathy, and connection. When you hold hands, when he puts his arm around you, or during any form of affectionate touch, both of your brains get a gentle wash of this incredible chemical. For him, this release reduces stress, lowers his guard, and creates a profound sense of well-being and safety with you. His brain is literally marking you as a source of comfort and security. This is why his touch often feels so grounding and present, because chemically it is. But for men, there's another key player, vasopressin. This hormone works in tandem with oxytocin and is closely linked in the male brain to feelings of partner preference, loyalty, and protective behavior. When he touches you affectionately, the release of vasopressin reinforces a powerful loop. He feels bonded to you, oxytocin, and simultaneously feels a primal urge to protect and provide for you, a vasopressin. His touch is therefore a biological act of both seeking comfort and declaring his devotion. It's his body's way of saying, I am bonded to you, and I will protect this bond. It solidifies you in his mind as his partner, distinct from everyone else in the world. This is not a conscious thought, it's a deep hormonal reality. This creates what we can call a trust cycle. He touches you, which releases bonding hormones in his brain, making him feel safe and connected. This positive feedback makes him want to touch you more to get another dose of that chemical reward. As you reciprocate or respond positively to his touch, his brain learns to associate you with this profound sense of peace and rightness. It's a self-reinforcing loop where intimacy builds trust, and trust deepens the desire for more intimacy. It's the body's brilliant system for building and maintaining strong, monogamous bonds. So when he seems almost magnetically drawn to you, understand that there is a real magnetic force at play. It's not just lust. It's a neurochemical addiction to the sense of peace, connection, and purpose that your presence and your touch provides him. His urge isn't just about seeking a moment of pleasure, it's about seeking a state of being. It's a biological quest for the connection that makes him feel whole, grounded, and fundamentally like a better man. The science doesn't make it less romantic, it reveals a biological truth that is, in its own way, the most romantic story of all, that his very cells are programmed to seek, cherish, and protect the bond he shares with you. The emotional wiring of attraction, one of the most common points of confusion for women, is the mixed signal. He might seem emotionally distant or quiet, not one for long, soul-baring conversations, yet his physical affection is constant and unwavering. You might wonder, how can he not want to talk but always want to touch me? Is the physical separate from the emotional for him? This is where we uncover a fundamental difference in emotional wiring. The myth is that men are driven by lust and women by emotion. The truth is that men are deeply emotional beings. They just process and express those emotions differently. For many men, the emotional and the physical are not two separate experiences. They are intrinsically linked, with the physical often serving as the gateway to the emotional. While a woman might experience an emotion, process it internally, and then choose to express it with words, a man often experiences emotion through his senses first. His emotional connection is built on a foundation of sensory presence. What does that mean? It means his feelings of love and attraction are often triggered and amplified by what he can see, hear, feel, and smell in the present moment. Seeing you smile from across the room isn't just a pleasant sight. For his brain, it's a data point that computes to happiness and connection. The scent of your hair as you lean in isn't just a fragrance. It's a sensory anchor that ties him to the feeling of being with you. And most powerfully, the feeling of your skin against his is not just a physical sensation. It is the most direct and undeniable proof of your connection. He doesn't separate the feeling of your hand in his from the feeling of love in his heart. To him, they are one and the same. The physical act is the emotional experience. This is why, after a long, stressful day, his first instinct might not be to talk about it, but to simply hug you. In that embrace, he is not avoiding the conversation. He is seeking emotional regulation. He is grounding himself in the one thing that feels safe and real to him, his physical connection to you. Your touch soothes his nervous system and communicates a sense of safety that words often fail to provide. This is not a less evolved way of feeling. It is simply a different one. He connects through presence. He falls in love through the sensory details of being with you. The way you laugh, the warmth of your body, the way you fit together. These are the building blocks of his emotional world. He may not have the words to describe the complex tapestry of his feelings for you, but his body knows the truth. His consistent need for your touch, for your physical closeness, is the clearest signal you will ever receive. It is his heart's native tongue. He isn't giving you mixed signals. He is giving you the only signal that to him is entirely clear, honest, and real. The unspoken language of approval in our exploration of his mind. We focused on his desire for you, but now we must turn to a more hidden, more vulnerable aspect of his touch, his desire for your approval. When a man reaches for you, it is not always an act of pure confidence. More often than not, it is a quiet question. It is a moment of profound vulnerability where he is, in a non-verbal way, laying his ego and his heart on the line, seeking one thing in return: your acceptance. Every time he initiates touch, whether it's a simple caress or a more intimate advance, he is stepping into a space of risk. He is offering a piece of himself, and in that moment, your reaction becomes his reality. Will you lean into his touch, or will you subtly pull away? Will you soften, or will you stiffen? He is acutely aware of these micro responses. Your body's answer is more powerful to him than any words you could ever say. His touch is his way of asking, am I still desirable to you? Are we still connected? Do you still choose me? When you respond with warmth, when you welcome his touch, you are doing more than just reciprocating a physical act. You are giving him the answer he desperately needs to hear. You are validating his place in your life. You are confirming his worth, not just as a man, but as your man. This affirmation is a deep and powerful need, and it is one of the primary drivers behind his physical affection. It is a reassurance that strengthens his confidence and deepens his devotion to you. This creates a beautiful reinforcing cycle, the loop of validation. It begins with his vulnerable act of reaching for you. When you respond positively, his brain receives a powerful hit of reassurance and approval. This makes him feel confident, desired, and emotionally safe. That feeling of safety and confidence, in turn, makes him want to be more affectionate, more giving, and more loving towards you. He feels empowered to be the best version of himself as a partner. As he becomes more loving and present, you, in turn, feel more cherished and desired. This makes you even more open and receptive to his touch, which starts the entire beautiful cycle all over again. It is a system of mutual emotional nourishment. He touches to feel accepted, and in doing so makes you feel desired. You respond to that feeling of being desired, and in doing so make him feel accepted. It's a perfect emotional ecosystem where both partners are continuously building each other up. So the next time you feel his hand seek yours, understand the depth of the question he is asking. He is not just seeking pleasure. He is seeking you. He is seeking your approval, your acceptance, your unspoken permission to be your partner. And in your simple, warm response, you hold the power not only to make him feel desired, but to make him feel worthy, validated, and completely unconditionally loved. The feminine power in response, why your energy changes everything. We have spent a great deal of time decoding his mind, his biology, and the hidden language of his touch. But now we turn the focus back to where the true power has always resided within you. His touch may be the question, but your response is the entire conversation. And that response is not about what you do. It is about the energy you bring to the moment. It is about who you are being. So many women, when intimacy begins, fall into the trap of performance. A list of silent questions begins to scroll through the mind. Am I doing this right? Does he like this? Should I be more vocal, less vocal? Am I sexy enough? This internal monologue of self-critique generates an energy of anxiety. It is a tight, nervous, and disconnected energy And he can feel it. Even if he doesn't know what to call it, it creates a subtle barrier between you, a wall built of worry. He may be touching your body, but he can feel that he hasn't truly reached you. The most profound secret to unlocking deep magnetic attraction has nothing to do with perfecting a technique. It has everything to do with cultivating a calm, receptive, and present energy within yourself. He is not searching for a performer. He is searching for a sanctuary. He is seeking a place where he can finally let down his own armor, and he can only do that if he feels you are at peace within yourself. Your calm is his permission to be vulnerable. This begins with your breath. The next time you feel his touch, before your mind can begin its spiral of questions, simply bring your awareness to your breathing. Take a slow, deep inhale and an even slower exhale. Feel the tension begin to leave your shoulders, your jaw, your stomach. This simple act does something miraculous. It pulls you out of the anxious chatter of your mind and drops you directly into the reality of your body. It anchors you in the present moment. In that state of presence, you are no longer performing. You are simply experiencing. This is the energy he is drawn to. It is an energy of openness, of warmth, of safety. He feels you relax, and it gives his own nervous system the signal to relax. He feels you open, and it gives him the courage to open too. True chemistry is not a spark that just happens. It is a fire that is built when two people feel safe enough to lay down their defenses. Your calm, present energy is the kindling for that fire. You are not just allowing him to touch your body, you are inviting him into your emotional space, and that is a far more intimate and addictive invitation. Forget about being the perfect lover. Strive instead to be the most present one. Let go of the need to impress him and focus on the simple, profound pleasure of being in your own skin. When you give yourself permission to just be, to breathe, to feel, to exist without judgment, you generate a magnetic field of feminine energy. It is an energy that is both soft and powerful, both yielding and confident. It tells him, without a single word, you are safe here, I am safe here, all is well. This is the foundation of true chemistry, and it is a power that you, and only you, can bring to the connection. Your energy doesn't just contribute to the moment, it creates it entirely. The art of slowing down in our fast-paced world. We are conditioned to rush. We rush through meals, we rush through conversations, and often we rush through intimacy. For the overthinker, this rush can be a defense mechanism, a way to get through a moment of vulnerability before the anxiety can fully take hold. There can be an unconscious push to get to the main event, believing that is the goal. But in the world of sensual connection, speed is the enemy of depth. The true art, the secret to creating unforgettable intimacy lies in the power of slowing everything down. When you deliberately slow the pace of an encounter, you are not being passive or hesitant. You are taking control. You are becoming the leader. You are subtly shifting the dynamic from one of reactive desire to one of conscious, deliberate creation. Slowness is not a sign of insecurity. It is the ultimate expression of confidence. It communicates that you are so comfortable in the moment, so certain of the connection that you have no need to rush. You have all the time in the world to savor it. Think about the moment his hand begins to move with purpose. The instinct might be to let him set the pace. But what if instead you gently placed your hand over his, not to stop him, but to join him, to make his motion a shared one? And what if in that shared touch, you slowed his hand down by just 10%? What if you guided him with a slower, more meandering exploration? This simple act sends a powerful psychological signal. It tells him that you are not just a passive recipient of his touch, you are an active participant, a co-creator of the experience. It intrigues him. It breaks his script and makes him wonder, what's next? This is the magic of anticipation. When you slow things down, you create space. You create a delicious tension. Every moment becomes more meaningful because it is not being rushed past. The journey becomes more important than the destination. A slow, deliberate caress that takes a full minute to travel from your hip to your thigh is infinitely more potent than 10 quick strokes. Why? Because it gives your mind and his time to fully register the sensation. It allows the emotional connection to build alongside the physical arousal. It transforms a simple touch into a story. Slowing down also forces presence. It's impossible to be in a hurry and be fully present at the same time. When you guide the encounter into a slower rhythm, you are pulling both of you out of your heads and into your bodies. You can focus on the details, the exact texture of his skin, the warmth of his palm, the change in his breathing as he adjusts to your new, unhurried pace. You create a sensual bubble where the outside world, with all its pressures and distractions, simply melts away. Take the lead in this gentle way. Be the one to hold eye contact for a few extra seconds before a kiss. Be the one whose hands explore his back with a slow, almost lazy confidence. Be the one who breathes deeply and lets the silent stretch filled only with the sound of your shared presence. This is not about playing games or being manipulative. This is about honoring the connection you share. It is about giving it the time and the space it deserves to unfold in its own beautiful, unhurried way. By mastering the art of slowing down, you are not just deepening the pleasure of the moment, you are teaching him how you wish to be touched, how you wish to be valued, and how you wish to be loved. You are leading him gently and confidently into a deeper emotional world. When touch becomes trust for any woman who has known heartbreak, distance, or betrayal, the act of touch can be complicated. To open yourself up to another person's touch is one of the most vulnerable things you can do. The memory of past pain can create an invisible armor, a subconscious hesitation that holds you back from fully surrendering to a moment. Even with a man who is kind and trustworthy, we believe that we need to trust him before we can truly let go. But the deepest truth is that the journey doesn't start with him. It starts with you. Intimacy becomes a truly healing and magnetic experience only when you first learn to trust yourself. What does it mean to trust yourself in this context? It means trusting that your body is a safe place to be. It means trusting your intuition, your feelings, and your boundaries. It is the profound and quiet knowing that you are whole and worthy with or without his touch. It is about reclaiming your own skin as sacred ground, a home that belongs to you first and foremost. This internal safety is the foundation upon which all healthy, passionate intimacy is built. You cannot feel truly safe in his arms until you first feel safe in your own body. This self-trust is the source of your true magnetism. A woman who is comfortable in her own skin, who is at peace with her own body, radiates a confidence that is irresistible. It is not an arrogant confidence, but a deep, quiet self-possession. She is not seeking his touch for validation because she is already validated from within. Instead, she invites his touch as a shared experience, a beautiful addition to a life that is already full. This energy shifts everything. He can feel that he is not there to fix a broken part of you or to fill an empty space. He is there to meet you as an equal, to connect with a woman who is already whole. This is incredibly attractive to a secure, healthy man. It liberates him to be his most authentic self because he knows you are grounded in yours. When you approach touch from this place of inner trust, the experience is transformed. Ceases to be a test of his worthiness or a measure of your desirability. It becomes a form of mutual healing. Your vulnerability, now offered from a place of strength instead of fear, becomes your greatest gift. It invites his emotional depth. When he feels that you trust yourself enough to be truly open with him, it gives him the permission to do the same. He feels safe to reveal the softer, more vulnerable parts of himself. Your touch and your response to his becomes a way of communicating this deep internal security. It says, I am safe within myself, and therefore I can create a safe space for you. It says, I trust myself to know my own worth, and so I can see and honor the worth in you. This is when touch transcends the physical. It becomes a sacred exchange of trust, a quiet promise of mutual respect and emotional care. It becomes the place where two whole people meet not to complete each other, but to share in each other's completeness. The journey to passionate, healing intimacy is an inside job. It begins the moment you decide to come home to yourself. Emotional layers of male desire, the need to be wanted back. There is a pervasive myth about male desire, a quiet assumption that men are the initiators, the pursuers, the ones who simply take what they want. In this story, the woman is a passive gatekeeper, either granting or denying access. This narrative is not only outdated, it is profoundly damaging to true intimacy.